Welcome to the Off 199 podcast. We are your co-hosts, Jay.
Music nerd.
And Dap.
And we're just a few Miami boys who love talking about South Florida sports and want to bring it to you. So, without further ado,
Off 199 starts now.
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Off 199th. We are back. Unfortunately, we will not be with Jay today. He has wedding duty, as you all, a lot of y'all know. We told he will be getting married later on this month, but I still do have two of my regular correspondents, Ajack, and our resident Florida State alum, Mr. Nick Burnett.
Yo.
All right, so today we're going to be getting into our NBA review, being as it is a little bit late, but we are also going to do our college football preview. So first things first, let's talk about the NBA. NBA season is over, and it was an incredible season for the normal fan base, but for the Miami fans, it was probably our worst season in a long, long time, since probably the 15-win season in 08-07. So first off, let's react to OKC and their dominant season, and then we will talk about the Heat. So, Nick, first off, let me get your reaction to OKC season and their dominance this year.
Okay, that team's dominance was insane. The fact that everybody on that team can defend is crazy. I kind of thought they were like inflated numbers midway into the season, probably towards the last stretch of the final season, where I was like, oh shit, this team is for real. Like, this shit is not, they're nothing to play with. Because everybody on their team can defend, everybody plays both ways. And then the big three, and the fact that they're so young, they've locked down so many of their players, so many of their cores for the future, that I think that they are the next, I say for the next 8 seasons, the league is probably theirs at this point, if barring nothing major happens.
You mean major like injuries or anything, or another team like in a
like that.
Or something?
But I definitely see them winning 3 in the next 8, and that's what I mean by that, at the very least.
Well,
because all your old heads are getting out, though. All your old heads are getting out. LeBron has what? 2? I mean, I feel like I say this every year. 2 more seasons.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe 3, 4, if lucky. But he's making it seem like he's leaving sooner than 4. And then I think they're a terrible matchup for the Nuggets. The Nuggets just don't have a deep enough bench for them, and they're too athletic for the Nuggets. It's a bad matchup for the Nuggets. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, and I will get into this later, but the East is just irrelevant at this point.
I'll say that. All right. Hey, Jack, what is your reaction to it?
I kind of had them all year, especially because even with the defensive numbers, they had 0 bigs to start the season. Mm-hmm. Hardenstein was hurt, Chet was hurt, and they were still putting on a defensive masterclass to start the season. Like, I think both them guys were out for half the season. They were still the number 1 defense in the league, so it didn't surprise me how good they were on defense. So it kind of became with them, like, when obviously when the bigs came back, it became just easier for them to play the way they play. I know, like, all throughout the playoffs, they were complaining about how physical they were, how they were hacking, whatever like that. And I think I read a tweet somewhere about how like yeah, they're no doubt hacking, but because they're always in position, the refs don't really see it as fouling in a way. Because, like, usually when a team hacks, they're hacking because they're not there, or like they're behind.
Their arms are extended out and stuff like that.
Yeah, but with them, like a Dort, Caruso, even at SGA, even though he's kind of like I like their whole group's probably I think Isaiah Joe and Wiggins is worse than him. He's probably like that mid-tier defenders. He's very good at pokeouts. He's very good at stealing the ball. So like they're handsy and physical, no doubt, but like they're very smart with it. So it didn't surprise me. But still, I feel like they have some flaws that got kind of exploited by the Nuggets and Indiana. Because the reality is they don't really have a lot of guys who can create their own shot. They only have 2 guys who can really create their own shot, and that's Jalen Williams and Shai. And another thing too, even to add on to that, they really only have 3 or 4 guys who can actually dribble the ball. I think Indiana kind of
like. I don't know if that's true.
It's true.
Well, I have actually had a comment on that, but please continue.
It's like, because Indiana, I think it was from like games 2, 3, like for the rest of the series after game 2, they started pressing them full court, and they weren't good at it. Like they really wasn't. Even SGA and J, like having SGA them being able to win a championship with Jalen Williams as a second option. Congratulations. because I do think he's taking another step, but at the same time though, like it's Jalen Williams. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like ain't really nobody like established it, but maybe this is his coming out party. Because at the end of the day, he did drop 40 in the finals game, and that's something that not a lot of people can say in the NBA.
That part, I'm about to tell you.
For sure, for sure. But like, I think I think there was some frustration. Like, well, me personally with about the OKC thing, I felt they tried to crown him like a lot early, like too early. Because like last year they was really on his they was really on his stuff. But like he kind of folded last year. But this year I feel like he really proved himself, and that's how they won. So I mean, I feel like it's a well deserved chip. And I mean, like I feel like Clippers helped them out a lot with that trade. But at the end of the day, I still feel like it's one of the most organic chips that we've had in a minute. So yeah.
I mean, it's the Paul George championship. I mean, both teams that
Yeah.
were affected mostly by Paul George in a way that the team was shaped off of trades for him were playing in the
Mm.
championship. I think it's ironic that playoff P, whatever, basically handed a team for two chances for a championship right there. But that was one
Yeah.
thing you were saying. It kind of reminded me a little bit how the Celtics used to be, how they really can't dribble a little bit outside of like a few players. Like, even though Shea is a point guard,
He's
he's
not a
not
point guard.
really like a traditional one. Like Josh
Hmm.
Giddey, I guess, was more of a traditional one. But then the offense worked better when it ran through Shea anyway. So getting rid of him and getting Caruso, I think, was really smart. But you put the nail on the head. I think Indiana was like, I think, a poor man's OKC the way they were put together. And they were able
I
to
think
poke a
that's
little bit
fair
of
to
holes
say.
in them
Yeah.
defensively and the way that they would do things. And me, Nick, and Josh talked about like what Indiana could be, and we'll talk with them a little bit later. Some of the failings they've had this offseason with the setbacks that they'll take. But I think that OKC, the way that they're put together, the draft capital that they still have like 17 picks over the next 6 years, which
Yeah.
is just ridiculous. Basically, they have the best team in the NBA, and they have the most draft capital in the NBA. So they can only get better if they do it right. And nothing really suggests that Sam Presti is going to make a wrong move when it comes to whether it's the draft or whether it's picking up talent. Sam Presti has probably been one of the best, not even best GM of what like this modern era is like one of the best GMs we've ever seen. He's doing things like I've never
Mhm.
thought possible because like putting that team together, getting them to win. And it's not like they were just good this year too. It's not like they came out of nowhere. They were the number one seed last year in the West.
Yeah.
So
I have
yeah,
a
they
hot
got
take about
crowned.
Sam Presti. I have a hot take about Sam Presti, but I do think what you said is correct though. I do have a hot take
Yeah, I
about
think right now he's the best in the game. I think he's watched. I think he's watched how other people have built teams and how like where it succeeded for a little bit, but has not been able to sustain long term success. I think he's been able to find a button to press to find that. So I think I do agree with Nick. I think right next, but it's also another hot take is like I think getting 3 out of 8 would have not. I think someone would have told you. I think like maybe 20 years ago that's not exactly dominating the NBA. People who say that the Spurs didn't really dominate the NBA, but
it.
in the current
Yes, they
landscape of the
did.
NBA, in the current landscape of the NBA, getting 3 out of the next 8 is actually probably a dynasty because we haven't
It's
had
dominant.
a repeat champion in what eight
Hmm.
years now
Yeah.
since
Since the
since Golden
Warriors.
State went to yeah since the Warriors won 3 out of 4. So it's been crazy. I think that I had said from the beginning of like a lot of my friends, a lot of people who work for me were asking me, "Hey Phil, who you got?" I was like, "OKC." I was like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "I don't think anyone can beat
Yeah, I was saying
realistically
okay, so go time too.
OKC." Yeah. I don't think anyone can realistically beat OKC in a 7 game series. And they're like, oh no, they're too young. They're too this, they're too that. I'm like, well, they were number one seed last year. They had their playoff bumps. They got playoff leaders off that. They played crazy defense. I mean, any team that's going to play them is going to be a pale imitation of them and won't be able to go as deep as them. And people are like,
Yeah.
oh, Minnesota's going to get them. I'm like, no, Minnesota's not nearly as good as they are.
They're dumb.
Yeah,
Just
and there's
just to
that
put
part.
it
There's a
plainly.
little bit of
They're
that part
extremely
too.
dumb.
But also
Extremely
too,
dumb basketball team.
if you're relying on Julius Randle to be your playoff number 2, you're gonna have some. You're gonna, in my opinion, his playoff stats and the way that he's been in the playoffs, you're kind of. Even though I think he had a great playoff, I think he had a great playoff year this year. Still, I'm not gonna rely on him to be my playoff number 2. He has just struggled in the playoffs when it comes to that. So, but what's your hot take on Sam Presti before we move on?
So I do agree about um he's still one of the greatest GMs of all time, in my opinion. But the hot take I have about him is that like he shoots himself a lot of I think he shoots himself like a lot of room to fail because he hits on all of his top draft picks.
Yeah,
Like
Mm.
from 15 to 1, I completely trust his judgment. But from 15 after, throw
So
that shit
basically, if he's out the
away.
lottery, nah.
Yeah, I feel like I don't trust that nigga at all.
Yeah.
Cause
So
like,
his
bro,
lottery picks hit. Hey,
yeah, cause like Usman, Jang, um, and some niggas I can't even know the name. Like he hit on, to this point, he's hit. No, Isaiah Joe wasn't like he didn't draft Isaiah Joe. He
the
drafted
Celtics did,
Wiggins,
didn't they?
huh?
He drafted Wiggins. Didn't the Celtics
He
draft
drafted
Isaiah?
Wiggins. Joe came from. I think Joe was like an undrafted guy, and then
Oh,
like they
okay.
just picked him up or like that. But I think Wiggins is like the only guy outside of Lowry that's been like an actual player for them or whatever like that. And that's kind of been my point about even because like I always talked about like the Westbrook KD teams or whatever. And I always feel like them teams weren't that greatly
Deep.
built or whatever like that. But because he drafted the Kevin Durant and the Westbrook, he was able to get away with and Ibaka and
You really didn't think
Harden.
those teams are good?
no, I think they
No,
were good. I think they were poorly built. I think there was
How?
no I think
remember we talked
no
about how there
spacing.
wasn't a lot. Remember that KD had to be the main shooter for those teams, and that's one of the reasons why he left. Like
It's like
basically,
That's
Nick, you
true.
had
I
like
mean, the only thing that I had complaints on for that team was they needed one more sharpshooter.
no, like you like my thing with them teams that like you had one of the greatest slashers of our generation and you played a double big lineup.
they didn't give. Yeah, he's right too. They didn't really
So
give Russell
it's
Westbrook
like
much room to operate, and it
there's
was
just no space. And KD said himself, like, he was like, bro, like I had no space. Like I was getting double like it's like if you go back to that Warriors season, like they double team him really fucking easily because there was really no one else who can shoot outside of 20 feet. Like Serge is going to hit a 20-foot jump shot every now and then, but he wasn't a shooter. But no, I still think he's a good GM. I still think that was a good team because even if they were poorly built, they still had advantages in other ways. That's why they had and like that's why they had Golden State on the ropes. Because even with me saying that about that team, they still should have beat Golden State because they were so much more athletic than Golden State, and they were
Yeah,
able to lean on that. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. All right. Well, let's
I
move
guess.
on for a second. We're gonna go to the Eastern Conference. Okay, so the Eastern Conference had two 60-win teams, and neither of those teams even made the conference finals. So, how was your reaction to how the Eastern Conference played out? Then we'll start talking about the Heat. Was that surprising
No,
to you that the Celtics and Cavaliers flamed out like that?
I was more surprised about the Cavs than I was surprised about the Cavs than Boston because to this day, like I'm always feel like Boston's some bozos. You know what I'm saying? That's just me how I feel about it. Um, Cleveland was really surprising how they went out, but at the end of the day, and it's not really it's an excuse, but like it's something that everybody goes through. They were just hurt. Cleveland, they were just hurt, and it's coming out that Jaylen Brown was hurt as well. So it was I think bad luck all around for both those teams.
Mm-hmm.
With Tatum popping his Achilles and then Jaylen Brown having like I guess like some
Somewhat. Nick.
I think he froze.
Yeah.
For me, I wasn't surprised that Cleveland fizzled out. It wasn't surprising to me at all. I'm not a believer in what is his name?
Kenny Atkinson or Donovan Mitchell?
Donovan Mitchell.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to end up having a career like Chris Paul, have a bunch of accolades, but never have a championship.
Right.
Never really have anything to hang his hat on. But he'll have a bunch of stats.
I don't know what happened.
He'll have a
Yeah, I
bunch
don't
of
know either.
stats.
So I
He'll
agree
have
with
a
that.
bunch of stats, but I don't think it's in the cards for them. I don't think that team. I think spacing is an issue for that team. I don't think they have enough shooting. Defensively, they're decent, but I also think height is an issue for that team. Low key. Now I was surprised at how easily Boston fell after Jason Tatum got his injury. I think that more speaks to the level or the weight upon which Jason Tatum carries that team, even with Jaylen Brown, which I always thought Jaylen Brown could lead his own team. I think he proved well. If I haven't heard any reports that he was playing through an injury, so I don't even know.
Yeah,
But
he
I'll
had
just take
surgery
it
right after the
for.
season.
You said what?
He had surgery right after the season. It was one of those things where like, yeah, you gotta get surgery. Like you can play through it, but you gotta get surgery like right after the season. It was one of those things, you know.
That's fine. And maybe that's why. But I think that team is probably only going to go as far as Jason Tatum lets them go. And not even that Jason Tatum needs to do a bulk of the scoring or like carrying
It's
the
the other
load in
stuff.
that sense. It's just how the team is constructed that he needs to be on the court because he takes things away from other people as far as like defense or, you just have to pay attention to Jason Tatum, which allows other players on the team to thrive.
Oh, it's his length and his shot making ability as well. And,
Yeah.
Shot creation is such a big thing. And I think we talk about that on this podcast a lot because that's something that Miami lacks and has lacked for a long time. Shot creation is such a big thing. And Jason Tatum, no matter all his other faults, like him and Jaylen Brown also can't dribble. And I say this to Celtics fans a lot, but they create and they make difficult shots a lot
You
of
don't
times.
think Jason Tatum can dribble?
No, I don't. Their left hands are liabilities. That's how Miami's been able to beat them
Nick,
from time to time.
what's the one thing? Or you probably didn't notice it, but like, what's like the one thing you noticed about Miami's scheme defensively against them?
They're on ball a lot.
Yeah,
They
they're on
play
ball
really.
because
They put smaller defenders on them willingly, especially Jaylen Brown, to get into their pockets because they cannot dribble.
Haywood Highsmith guards Jason Tatum.
I'll give you Jaylen
Haywood
Brown
Highsmith.
might not be like the ball handling. But
Gabe Vincent would guard Jaylen Brown, be the primary defender.
Mm-hmm. And they would Miami would like force like 15 some odd turnovers against them. Like they don't dribble. They don't like, and that's a lot of, like some the Celtics fans whom I respect. They're like they just kind of gloss over because they know it's true. That's their main weakness is that they're not really good dribblers. But it really doesn't matter.
Especially Jason Tatum, he does the thing where like he's gonna power through you instead of like actually dribble around you. He's gonna do a move and then kind of just let me just scoot on over you. Let me scoot on by you.
Over. He's gonna especially since he's so tall, he's so much taller than you.
It's so much longer and taller.
He's gonna bring the ball over your head and then get to the lane. Like next time he comes on and play, watch some like highlights, you'll see it now. Now that we pointed it out to you.
I'll give you the Jaylen Brown one. I have noticed that he really can only go one direction.
Yeah, but you if you watch that game, game 7 when in the 23 conference finals, like he went to the top and like it was during the fourth quarter. The game was somewhat in the balance. He went to dribble with his left. Jimmy Butler just hit it out. Miami's up 15. The game was pretty much over after that. Like
I do think Jason's a little bit better. But I do think they have like the same issues of like, their handle is not really that strong to be the main ball handlers on a championship team.
Right.
That's why I was so surprised that they actually like pulled it through. But they played Dallas in the finals, so it's kind of like, what's Dallas going to do?
Dallas not going to crush you like that. And then another thing too, with Ime Udoka, I think he did the best job of coaching him through that issue when it came to it. Like Joe Mazzulla hasn't really coached him through. They kind of forgot what they were doing because one thing they did during that conference finals where in 22 is when even though Miami got them the first 4 games, like they adjusted the last 3 and they were able to kind of stop the turnovers by just kind of getting in the spots and taking shots over it instead. But moving on to that, but I was just, I guess for me, Indiana wasn't so much surprised they got there last year, but the Knicks have been like known playoff chokers. I was really surprised the way the Knicks were able to handle themselves even before Tatum got hurt. And I know, Jaylen Brown was getting hurt and everything, but I think the whispers about the team getting broken up, I think also seeped into their mind. Even with them winning a championship, it's like one of the things I've always said, I think the Celtics aren't as strong mentally. Don't get me wrong, I think they have good mental strength because it takes a lot of that to win a championship. But I think they should be a lot stronger with everything that they've gone through over the past 6-7 years. To me, but maybe I'm just being a hater because I do not like the Celtics. It is what it is. I respect their games, but I just think there are a lot of times when any type of like controversy comes, I feel like to me they crumble. And I think that 24 was the one year where they didn't really have much controversy. They played a Heat team that didn't have Butler. Okay, that's easy. They played a Cavs team with like that's like let's go get it, easy. And then Indiana, basically Halliburton got hurt. No much controversy there, and Dallas is not a very good defensive team. But you face the Knicks team that's kind of built that says it was built to beat them technically. Then they get hurt, and there's like, and then things happen. But it is what it is. All right. So, anything else to add about the Eastern Conference?
I don't understand what the Eastern Conference is doing. I've never been a Tom Thibodeau fan, but firing Tom Thibodeau to get Mike Brown is ludicrous to me.
Yeah, some of the moves have been made. Like I don't I think the one thing we talked about, you and I were talking about this with Josh, is like what do the Knicks really expect of themselves? Do they expect
That's what I'm
championship?
saying. Like, well, who do you think you are?
Yeah. It's like,
Look, at the
who
end of the
do you
day,
think you are?
like a move had to be made because it seemed like this kind of what happens with Tom Thibodeau wherever he goes, he wears out his welcome.
And I'm not saying
Like
he doesn't.
Okay, but he rebuilt that team from scratch.
Yeah,
Right there.
That's the thing. You don't. Tom Thibodeau's not the coach to take
Get
you
you over
there.
the hump. So Mike Brown is? I mean,
Huh?
I
That
don't.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Mike Brown is because his track record is so much better than Tom Thibodeau's.
It's
Or what,
like you want my really strong opinion. I feel like they're about the same. So you want
right?
to be like they
Yes.
made like a
I
lateral
They're in the
move?
same
Cool.
tier for sure.
I completely agree
Yeah,
with you.
like, cool. But at the end of the day, like it's about being liked.
That's true.
Mm.
I guess that's so. And maybe the thing is for me
So
is like,
Mike Brown
Like
gets
yo,
the
what
job
y'all
because he's more
what y'all
likable
about
and
to
easier
say?
to get
Y'all
along with.
not wrong.
oh yeah,
Like what y'all saying about the Tom Thibodeau firing is not wrong. But at the end of the day, it's about who do you like. Like it's about like who do you keep happy? Like, do you really think Jalen Brunson and whoever out there, Cat, do you really think they actually like Tom Thibodeau and that
I doubt
garbage
it.
ass offense that he has them running?
I doubt that. But then again, when I look at it, it's like, what else are
My
they going to
thing
run?
is, yeah, exactly.
Uh,
What else are you gonna run? Or not even that. What else you're gonna run? This is the coach that got you guys here.
That don't
Do
matter.
you really think that Mike? There's no way they had a say in the Mike Brown
No, no,
hiring.
no. I don't disagree with their firing. I disagree how they handle it. If you're gonna fire Tom Thibodeau, you better have someone better already in the wing. They didn't have
That's what I'm
that.
saying.
Yeah, that's it. I ain't mind them firing him at all because like I knew it was coming because it seemed
well,
like the team was sick of it seemed like the team was sick of the nigga.
well, that was my
Like
biggest issue about it too. It's like, look, if you're going to do that, like for me, like when Golden State fired Mark Jackson, they knew they had Steve Kerr, and that's where they wanted to go. You know, I didn't agree with it at the time because I thought what Mark Jackson had done for Golden State, I really think he deserves more credit for them becoming a dynasty than he gets. But
and again that was more he was not well liked than he
right,
wasn't doing well.
That was
yeah.
The front office didn't like him. The team
Well, no,
liked him though.
that's Austin's point. The front office didn't like Thibodeau either, so that's basically what. But you know, I know his players liked him, but then again, you know, sometimes you need a different voice. So
Well,
I'm
this
not so
move,
sure
I
that's what
don't
the
think
problem is
anybody
with the
liked Tom
Knicks, though.
Thibodeau. That's the thing. But this move, I don't think anybody liked Tom Thibodeau. I think the players
Yeah,
started to dislike him. I think the front office didn't like his ass either.
yeah. So yeah, that's true. I mean, he wears thin. He said that. I mean, he wore thin on the Bulls. He wore thin on the Timberwolves, even though he took the Timberwolves to the playoffs for the first time and since they had got
Yeah,
there.
since
Yeah.
And I doubt Cat liked him from back then. So I was really surprised that like Cat was cool with them getting traded to the Knicks with Thibodeau being the coach. But
like,
hey,
who cares who your coach is when you get traded to the media capital of the world?
that's
Like,
very true as well. That's very true as well. All right, and then
so,
also I did not like Indiana giving up Miles Turner. Like I know they
That
maybe
made no
had to kind
sense.
of punt.
yeah, it's a bigger story because I have a close friend who's an Indiana fan and he's in on that. It seemed like it was a lot. It seemed like I think they would have re-signed him if Halliburton did get hurt. And when
For real.
Halliburton got hurt,
So you
it
think
was like, yeah, we're not
they're
going
going on a punting? They're basically going to punt
What
this
is
season
that?
because Halliburton got
What
hurt.
is the significance of that though? That I don't
tax.
They're not going to
understand.
compete next year.
Tax. They don't want to go in the tax for a team that they know is not going to compete, and they know they're not going
Yeah.
to compete like with Holly Hurt. And I kind of get it. So it's like, oh yeah, we're not going to pay you the contract that you want.
I
Like, yeah,
think
we're
they
going
could
to pay
compete
you.
without him.
Not
They
for
competed in
real.
all the games that he didn't play in.
Not for
They
real,
competed,
nigga.
but they
Let's be
didn't win
for
them.
real.
They competed, but they had a horrible start to the season. That's why they're such a bad seed. They had a really bad start. They had a great second half. They were so great. They hadn't lost 2 straight games since like February. That was a big thing in the finals that happened. And they like the finals was the first time they had trailed the series the entire postseason as well. And you know, it took till what game 5 for them to trail in the series. So I mean, yeah, like Indiana had a great second half. That's because Halliburton was available. So that's they're going to punt on next season because basically that's what the Celtics are doing too, from what I understand. They're probably still going to make the playoffs with the
Yeah,
talent that they
I feel
have.
like the Celtics have had a masterful offseason in soft tanking. Like,
Yeah.
let your stars rest. Because like I heard a person about them wanting to get Tatum back playing like at the end of the year. Like, let him rest. Like, let's let him take the year off. Because like
Yeah, I know because
you
they
know how
haven't
many miles
announced.
are on his body. I don't know how old he is, but you know how many miles are on his body. He plays till June May in deep May. He's played till June, May, almost every single year of his career.
There's only twice he hasn't been in the conference finals in his
Yeah,
career.
that's true.
Like I'll slander dude 100 miles an hour, but I'm not going to deny he hasn't played a lot of basketball, and I would
But
and
I respect the hell. I respect the hell out
you're
of
in
his stuff.
shock.
I just don't like him.
Not for sure. Like yeah, you're in shock that he tears his Achilles, but is it really surprising with how much miles is on his body?
Yeah, yeah,
It's
it's
what it
true.
is.
Something like that's bound to happen. All right, so let's get to the nitty gritty of it. End out this NBA talk. Let's talk about the Miami Heat and its worst season by far in the Spo era. But somehow we led to 6 straight playoff berth, but an embarrassing sweep. So, in your reaction, Julian, and I'll just get your reaction as a non-Heat fan. Nick, what do you think is next for Miami? What do you think? How do you feel about the offseason that they had? Getting Norman Powell, getting Fontecchio as well, and the way the team is set. What do you think? Well, first, give me your reaction to the season, of course, and then how do you feel about the season going forward? That's it. That's a yawn. Like no excitement, no nothing.
You asking me?
Yeah, you go first.
I thought you was asking niggas the non-Heat fan. My fault.
No, I have his reaction afterwards, but I want to have you
Oh, my
first.
fault.
Then I'll
My
let
fault.
you.
My fault. My fault.
Then I want you to get. Also, I want to have his reaction. Then I want you to do your Pat Riley reaction debate. So
I mean, the rest of the season is like it was to be expected. That's probably documented on this podcast. I said like, hey, if you're not going to pay Jimmy Butler, trade him. And I said that for a lot of work for the exact reasons is what happened in the season. Is that like, bro, like when Jimmy doesn't feel appreciated, Jimmy acts out. That's who Jimmy is. Like, you know what I'm saying? And like, so when he's traded and you have Tyler Hero first option hoops, you get the 10th seed. And I've been saying that. He's been proved to me that he's not him. And they were about to pay him $42 million. And it's kind of like, yeah, bro, I might not be a Miami Heat fan for long, man. I won't lie to y'all, man. Like if we pay that white man $42 million, I don't know what I'm gonna do with
What do
myself.
you mean? I gotta be a Heat fan for long?
I'm serious. If we pay him a max contract of $42 million for the next 5 years, I might not be a Heat fan, bro.
That's not how fandom works at your age.
I'm 28 years old. What you mean?
You don't just switch. It doesn't just go on and off. It's what
Yeah,
you're
it is.
from.
Yeah, it is. I can turn it on and off. You sure?
Does
You
that make you
positive?
a real fan then?
I guess I'm not a real fan, Nick. Like nothing, nothing you say to me is gonna phase me because I've watched the games. Like you can't call me a real fan. Like you cannot call me a real fan. Like I watch the games.
You'll still be a fan, though, is what I'm saying.
No, I won't. Well, now while he's on the team, you know what? I might take a hiatus. There we go. That's a better word for it. I take a
So you won't
hiatus
watch
of being a fan.
basketball at all?
I won't watch Heat basketball.
That's crazy.
I won't watch the FanDuel network, whatever the fuck they call it now. I'm not watching it, bro. Like if we pay him,
right.
I know, like, because I've been knew this about us because all the reports they put out about what they want to do, how they plan to do it. Oh, yeah, we're setting up to have cap space this year and that year. Is BS because I know no superstars are free agents anymore, and if I know that, they should know that. So it's like, so them trying to set up for cap space, and later years, kind of like, okay, yeah, you're just trying to save money, and you're trying to put hope to keep butts in them and to keep butts in the seats. And I'm sick of being lied to. And I've been saying this on this podcast for like 2 straight years now. I'm sick of them lying to me because all they've been doing is lying to me. And I'm not a real fan because I'm sick of it and I don't watch the bullshit no more. See, that's the problem with fandom. I'm supposed to put up with bullshit, Nick, and I'm done putting up with it. Like I'm done being lied to. I'm done being gaslit. Like it's like, bro, think about this. We're about to pay somebody 42 million who scored 4 points in an elimination game.
I mean, y'all the one chose to build the team around Tyler Hero this season. I don't understand.
I don't want to build a team around. I don't want to build a team around Tyler Hero. I want to build it around Bam.
If I know them building a team around Tyler Hero is some BS, why would I subject myself to watching that? I'd rather watch something else. You know what I'm saying? That's all I really gotta say about it, bro. Like it's just I knew what it was. I think I've called it out on this podcast like multiple times about what would happen if Jimmy Butler left. I mean, we wasted this build. We had a window, we wasted it, and that's all on them. And I don't think we ever competed. I don't think we probably won't be able to compete for like another 10 years, honestly.
10
It's cooked.
years?
Compete
For 10
Compete.
years in the
10 years,
East?
it's done.
for
I don't
10
see
years.
10
You don't think
years.
Spoelstra could pull something out his ass in 10
For
years?
10 years.
At the end of the day, Spoelstra could pull something out of his ass because he had somebody who could raise to super like that, someone that could raise to the superstar level. Who's on that roster right now? Who could do that?
Y'all get somebody.
No.
No, he made the playoffs when y'all had nobody before, too, though.
I'm talking about competing. I'm not talking
Like
about
for a championship.
that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about
But you're
competing.
talking about an NBA championship because this team can compete
Yeah.
in the East the
No,
way
that's
it's
what,
built right now.
bro. When I say compete, I'm talking about for an NBA championship. I'm not talking about
Okay.
just lily
Eastern
dally in the
Conference
playoffs, bro. I'm talking about real
or
deal
taking
competing.
care of the East or anything. I got
Yeah, I'm
you.
not talking about real deal compete. I'm not talking about just like some 4 to 5, like some four seed to the 8 seed stuff. I'm not talking about that. Like I'm talking about just honestly, like yo, this Heat team can win a championship. I don't think we'll be like that level for like 10 more years, and and we had the ability to, and we really wasted it. And I'll probably never let that go. Like I'll never let that go because we really wasted it. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, bro. It is what it is. Like if I'm gonna take off by Pat Riley, I can get my take off, but I think I already covered it with how I feel about whatever like that.
Well, also, what it's one thing that's coming to light too. I want to get your reaction to this. It's not Pat Riley who makes the final decisions. If it was Pat Riley, then some of these things would have been made. Apparently, Nick
Mhm.
Harrison has been the one who has like asked some of these trades out of it.
Yeah,
So
save money.
does that give Pat Riley more of a pass
That's
in
the
your mind?
owner, isn't it?
Yeah,
No,
that's the
that's the
owner.
owner's son.
Okay, it's the owner.
So,
Mhm.
well, yeah, like basically, it comes to that when it comes to those second apron decisions, those first apron decisions, it's been him who's asked. Like apparently, Pat Riley has been a lot for most of these deals because that's how he has been, which was surprising. That's the thing that surprised me over the last 5 years. I always felt that he was someone who would go for that. He didn't matter. It didn't matter to him what the cost was. So,
No, no,
like,
like when it comes to saving money, I knew that wasn't him because he doesn't. That's not his job to deal with the money. That's everybody else's job to deal with the money. His job is to make the moves and to identify talent. That's his job. I already knew his job wasn't to save the money or whatever like that. But for me, I think he's part of the decision make because like my thing is just listening to Pat Riley talk about certain things. I know I know he picks and chooses who to use his like who to like use who he picks and chooses who he gets mad at, who he gets annoyed with, and I don't like that shit. And he never used to do that, and I don't like that shit. Like that's why I know he's changed. Like no, like the shit that Tyler Hero be doing, it's like it would not fly with a Pat Riley 15 years ago. And I know that's 15 years ago, but then they like that's how I know like it's not really like the Miami Heat no more. It's like it's kind of like a caricature of the Miami Heat. It's BS. It's BS for sure. So I mean, it is what it is.
all right, Nick, let me get your reaction to it as an outside Heat fan.
As an outside fan, or not fan, but an outsider,
Yeah,
um,
outsider, a non-Heat fan.
I don't know what y'all doing or what direction y'all are going in, and it's pretty apparent if I can notice that. Building the team around Tyler Hero is wild to me, and that's what it
Nuts.
looks like y'all are doing. He seems to be the primary ball handler at.
I don't know if like getting Norman Powell is more so building around Tyler Hero, but I mean, I guess I can understand why people would think.
I
I
don't know
can't
what they're
say it's
doing.
not. I can't say. You could say that it's not necessarily building around Tyler Hero, but you can't say that like Norman Powell is here taking anything away from Tyler Hero.
I don't think
I'll give you
he
that.
shouldn't.
You know what I mean? Like it's not like obviously he's adding something because Norman Powell's a good player, but like he's not. I don't think he changes the team in any way. So therefore, it doesn't have an effect on Tyler Hero that much, if that makes sense. If I'm explaining myself correctly.
No, for sure.
But why you choose to build the team around him makes no sense. I think he lacks he lacks a lot actually. If you guys work to build he lists to be the cornerstone of a team is not Tyler Hero. His shoulders ain't big enough for that, and his game's not big enough for that. That's what I mean, really. It's like his game isn't big enough for that.
I agree with that. I agree with that assessment. I mean, I would
I
rather the team
think,
be being built around Bam, but that's me. Go ahead.
yeah, you build the team around Bam, but really, I think Miami is at a point where it's time to blow it up or do a soft rebuild, whatever you want to call it. I think it's time to change, not necessarily coaching, but go ahead and get Pat Riley. Well, maybe it's ownership. I don't even know how much of a factor it is. I think you guys need new blood, and maybe it's in the front office.
I think, yeah, honestly, what I wanted, I would have loved if OG and D Wade were a part of this front office, like getting that blood like that, or someone like some players who have played in the last 25 years, basically. You can do it
Yeah.
like someone, not someone like Alonzo Mourning, who basically finished playing almost 20 years ago as your like face and stuff like that when it comes to identifying talent. That worked in 2010s and it worked in the early part of this decade. But I do agree. I think there's fresh blood, and I'm not so much sure about it. On team now. As
Like, do
far
you
as what
guys
this,
even have any picks?
I
they
don't
have
know.
picks. They don't control. They don't. There are a couple of them that don't control. But Miami does have picks. It's not as bad as it was a year or so ago. I'll put it like that.
Because, like,
So,
even when OKC back in the day was tanking, you're like, okay, they're stockpiling picks. So with the Celtics, it's like they're stockpiling picks. I can't say that about Miami.
Bro, I
no,
would, bro,
Miami, but
I
Miami
would
did.
rather watch
Miami's never
that.
gone that route.
I would rather, and I swear to God, I'd rather watch that than like the stuff that I be watching. Bro, Philip, we lost 10, like how much? It was 10 straight, 12
10
straight?
straight
Lost
after
12
the
straight
after the
teams.
trap.
And we weren't trying to. We legitimately just lost those games.
Yeah, that's what pissed me off about
It's
that
like,
too.
what are we doing? like,
I was sitting
like,
I was in Arlington, doing David Buster's. Like a lot of those games came on TV too. I'm just looking like, how do like one thing will piss me off is like we're up by like 15 in the first quarter, second quarter, and we just lose those games and stuff like that. Now, the way this team was built this year, I feel like it was relying on Jimmy Butler being more of a fourth quarter savior. And then, of course, when he wasn't bought in, this team was just like, it just was dead in the water. It gave up more 15-point leads than anyone I think in NBA history. This year.
and that's what pissed me off about Pat Riley. He comes to the season being like, yeah, Jimmy got to prove it. And it's like, bro, like you said this about Tyler Hero, and you just gave it to him anyway when he didn't have to prove anything. So it's
Well,
like, it's like I'll
I'll put
shut
it
up.
like this. As far as numbers go, like Tyler Hero has improved. It's just not to the point where we need it to be.
It does, bro.
We're comfortable
He's
giving
improved.
him.
He's improved statistically, cool, but
Yeah.
I don't think his game is. I don't think he's become a better player that contributes to winning. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, because like this, it pisses me off so much about the Tyler Hill thing. It's like he's led the team in shots like the last 4 years. So eventually he was going to get to this. Like he's still an NBA player. When you force feed a nigga the ball and give him all these touches and give him all these reps, yeah, he's gonna get better at putting the ball in the basket. But
Yeah.
when you want to be the first option, he's not a good
I don't know,
playmaker. He doesn't get to the basket that much. Well, he's gotten better in that aspect. I will give him that. But he still hasn't. I don't think he's capable of turning his ability to get to the basket, his ability to make layups into opportunities for his teammates. I don't think that's someone he will ever be.
I mean,
I think
this
Tyler
round,
Hero is a really strong third option.
Bro, is it exactly? Yes. Yes. Yes.
no, I mean,
I agree with that.
Miami and the best teams on that week Miami's had since he's been there, he was the third option and very clearly. So, I mean, I think that's what's made clear. But I don't know. I mean, without giving him up, it's like what do you get for him? And I think that's what Miami has come to. I think that's crossroads they came to. So I don't know what happens next when it comes to Miami. I mean, yeah, Miami's going to compete next year because no one in the East is going to be great, and they're going to have the best coach in the East by miles again. So it wouldn't surprise me if Miami gets like a fourth or third seed next year, but it won't matter. So because Austin's right, my bad. Austin's right. Miami's not going to be winning an NBA championship anytime soon. I'm not sure if it's 10 years.
Oh, that's true.
But
I think making the playoffs is still competing.
No, it's
yeah.
not.
But that's the thing. There's going to be a lot. There's the thing. In the NBA,
In
with more than half the teams making the playoffs, You can make the playoffs and not really
when
be
the
competitive.
Magic were making the playoffs, and they were like the 8 and 7 seeds, did you think they were competing?
Well, we only made the playoffs twice, and we competed.
That's why.
Last year.
That's why I think this is Tyler. This is Tyler Hero first option hoops, Nick. This is Tyler Hero. This is
basically what he said.
We were. No,
but the bar, just to use the Magic's reference, the bar was so low that making the playoffs is competing for the Magic.
I get that. I do get
and
that.
So that's kind of why I wanted to have this talk because
we're competing.
That's the thing. Like with someone like Austin, his generation who came in with Dwayne Wade, his bar is going to be so much higher than some of us other Heat fans. Like I went through some shit when it came to being a Heat fan before Dwayne Wade got there. Like 25 win seasons, 21 seasons, stuff like that. I am not as mad about. I'm not going to stop being a fan. I am not DEFCON 1 when it comes to the Heat. Like I'm still going to watch them. I'm going to be disappointed and everything like that. But like I'll put it like this: like there was someone who asked me, "Does because of everything that he's done, does Pat Riley get a pass in my mind?" And I'm more inclined to give him
pass
one
for what?
For not being the Pat Riley that I remember, basically. And the Pat Riley that we remember, the one that was able to put the big three together. But I also have to take into account this isn't the same NBA, and there's no such thing.
That's why I think it's time for Pat Riley to move on.
So yeah, and that's why I agree with that too. And I didn't really much think that until this past season. This past season was a disaster, and I have to agree with. I didn't agree with Austin the year before. I agree with him now. This was Pat Riley's fault. What he said to Jimmy Butler made no sense to me. Like I had no problem with what Jimmy Butler said. Also, when he said that if he was playing, the Celtics would be at home, because I agree with him. Because Miami was able to get a game with him not playing, but just strategy. Basically, it wasn't talent. I'll tell you that it wasn't talent, because that was one of the best teams that ever been put together. Miami was able to get a game. If Jimmy Butler was playing, Miami could have won that series, in my opinion. But so I have no problem with what he's saying, but the way that he said it, I was just like, this nigga. If you're two different teams when Jimmy was off that team at that time. There's a team that can compete for a championship, and there's a team that's just competing for an AFC. And so you're going to tell the person who makes your team into a competitor that, you need to be available. Fuck what you say. How dare you say that? How you keep your mouth shut? My thing is, confidence is always going to be everything. I love that shit. And so for me, I was just like, I at that point, I'm like, oh shit, this is over. And I'm like, I didn't know how. I didn't know where it was going to be. I hoped that Jimmy Butler was going to rise to the occasion and be like Superman this last season. But as soon as he heard that he was going to be able to get a max from someone like Phoenix and someone like Golden State, I knew he was done.
Yeah,
that's the one thing that's with Jimmy Butler. When he's not being, when he feels like he's not being appreciated, when he feels like he's not being paid to what he thinks his value is, he is out, and I do not blame him.
So, I don't necessarily blame him either, and for him leaving, I don't necessarily blame Miami either. I blame the way they handled it. They handled it like shit,
bro. I think I've been saying this. I think you've heard me too. I had no reason with Miami not paying Jimmy Butler.
Yeah,
I completely
no problem with that either.
it. But I think it's the dumbest shit in the world not to trade somebody that you don't want to pay. I feel like that's so fucking dumb. It's so dumb. Like,
for me,
I don't think a lot of people wanted him though.
Nah, that's not true.
No, there were like 20 teams that called when they heard that there was issues. There were like 20 teams that called the Heat about him. Now there weren't a lot of teams that are going to give him the max like he wanted.
Yeah, so I'm
only
saying.
Like maybe there are only like 4 or 5 teams that are going to give him the max.
Nick, that's the thing though. He doesn't have no trade clause. They could have traded him wherever. Like, especially when like they initially decided. This is like 2 years ago. He still had more years on his contract. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just like the 1 year he had this year. Like when you knew you weren't going to trade him, when he had like 2 or 3 years left on a contract, it would have been a more desirable contract because they know, oh, at least he's going to play at least 2 years on this team. But instead, you wait, you antagonize him even more, and then you make it blatantly obvious that you're not going to pay him, and then you keep finding him, you keep suspending him, you keep leaking reports about him. So it's like you burn bridges to try to like look better in the media. At the end of the day, they look like the Heat look like clowns this year. They look like complete clowns. They look like incompetent clowns this year.
It reminded me of like when all that stuff went down with the Spurs. Like how all the Spurs have been like the rock solid organization, everything.
Yeah, for sure.
The shit with Kawhi happened. and then now the Spurs kind of look petty,
and that made the
all this other
Spurs look
stuff.
like clowns. To
Yeah.
me, it made the Spurs look like clowns. Like it
So
made them
yeah,
like
I was
entitled
really
clowns.
disappointed in the way that he handled this. And I'm not 100% happy with Jimmy either. I think Jimmy could have clinched up and been more professional about it. But from what I'm understanding too, he did what he's always done. So for me, I was
That's
upset.
how you got him.
Yeah.
That's why you loved him, right?
Yeah. So for me, I was just like, I couldn't get mad at Jimmy. That's 50% blame on each side. But Miami should have been the bigger organization, but they should have traded him in the offseason and then had a full reset. And I could have dealt if they had traded him. I could have dealt with Miami not making the playoffs this year. I would have been fine with it.
Mm-hmm. I actually wanted them not to, honestly, because the Dallas
the Dallas odds were Miami's odds that got Cooper flag. Yeah, I know. I'm very well aware because I live in this area. I live and all the Maverick fans were, they have been so sad that whole year since February. They've been like all those sad looks on their face. Then as soon as they won that fucking lottery, everything just went.
It was all worth
everything just went different. Oh man, yeah, we back. We got 3 number one picks on our team. Oh yeah, we back. And then I looked at the odds and I was like, oh my god, those are the same odds Miami would have had they not made the playoffs. The same exact odds. So yeah, there's bad luck when it comes to that. But I did want to get one more thing, Austin. I think you talked a little bit about this. Do you think Miami even really tried when it came to their swing and miss on KD?
No. I can say that by a lot of the moves that they claim to make. Because if you're gonna be completely honest, I don't even think they tried with the Dame shit. Like truly try. I think they wanted Dame. But do I really think they truly tried?
But let's be real about that too. Cronin asked for the world. They weren't going. Cronin didn't take him seriously either. Cronin wanted to bankrupt him. That's on both of them.
No. It's a both side thing. Yeah. I think they tried to lowball Portland bad, and then after they lowballed Portland didn't take them serious no more. I
thought Cronin made the first move. That's what I heard about the situation.
No, I think it was no. I think it's a both side thing. Like it's like you're gonna hear conflicting reports trying to make each other look bad and make themselves look better, but you gotta read into the lines. It's kind of like I think Cronin came away from initial conversation. Okay, yeah, they're not really trying to give up they're not really trying to give up a great offer. You know what I'm saying? And I get that from Miami side of things. Like, yo, he wants to come here, and you're only saying us. So it's like, yeah, we're not gonna give you everything. But at the end of the day, you gotta give him a fair offer though. Because at the end of the day, more so about getting assets back, it's about optics as well. Like they're not gonna give up their greatest player in franchise history for some scraps. But the thing about Portland is they did give him up for scraps. So it's like clowns all around, in my opinion.
Yeah, but hey, it ended up working out for Portland in the end because he's back.
It sure did.
Did it really though? You're paying him $14 million.
I didn't say. Hey, look, you got what you wanted.
That's ludicrous.
One last thing.
He's probably gonna miss all the next season, anyways.
One last thing about
the situation. Go ahead.
One last thing about the Tyler Hero thing. Probably like the biggest indicator of Tyler Hero's value is players that are similar to him have gone for scraps, and they've been traded off their teams because they do not want to pay them. Ant Simons, a Jordan Poole, Cam Thomas. They're in that tier of player of where like they're scorers, but they're not really playmakers. They're not really like the winning type of player. And you really don't want to pay them max money. So like, yeah, let's trade him. So every other team realizes that except one, and it's the Miami Heat. And I have to be a fan of them. And if I'm not a fan of them, I'm not a true fan. That's bullshit.
That's bullshit. You could be an upset fan, but to call yourself not a fan is crazy.
No, I'm gonna take out. No. If we pay Tyler Hero, I'm gonna take hiatus from being a Heat fan because I already know what's up. Because like even with Philip saying like this isn't like DEFCON 1, and I get that, and you're correct. But I feel like they've been lying to us for like 3 or 4 years, and I find it disgusting. It's like I feel like they're insulting my intelligence with the stuff that they be the stuff that they be doing.
When I look at it, I guess it's thing is also I think you were never a fan of the Marlins. I got used to being lied to as a fan base. So for me, if the greatest fan base that I have in South Florida, the most consistent one lies to me, I guess I'm okay with it. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm okay with being lied to by the Heat because of what they've done in the past. It's like they're some of my best sports memories, basically. So,
hey, man.
look. You know what the biggest lie in Southwest sports history is always going to be? That fucking Marlins Stadium that sits where the OB used to be. All right. So for me, and I was a fan of the Marlins when they did that. So for me, go ahead, Miami Heat. You've earned the right to be able to lie to me. You've given me 3 championships. I'm
That's
okay.
funny.
That's
funny.
for me. That's for me.
No, for
So
sure.
but
hey,
let's
it's
move
all
on to
different.
actually who used to play in the OB. Anything else to add on the NBA or the Miami Heat before we move on?
Nah, all right. I will add. I do think the Magic can make a run. I do like the moves that they made.
I do think Orlando has an outside chance of being a 2 seed this year. I really do because since they are consistent.
You think we can get the number 2 seed?
Yeah,
I think if y'all are healthy, I really do.
Yeah,
how
y'all
bad
healthy,
the East
fully
is going
healthy.
to be.
Am I the only one that's not a believer in
I'll put this is why I'm gonna put it like I'll put it like this.
I don't know why
think
you wouldn't be.
Every team in the East last year that's in the playoffs is going to take a step back. Reality, except for probably actually, I think Miami's actually gonna be better because you can't really get much worse than what they did last year. But I think that Orlando's gonna take a step forward. I think Miami's gonna take a step forward. And I think every other team is not in the East. That's how bad I think some of the moves. Detroit maybe, but Detroit also lost Beasley, so there's a step back as well with that. And so also they got Duncan Robinson. So who knows how that's going to work out. Milwaukee is Milwaukee. I don't know really what they're going to do. They have Giannis, but it would surprise me if they're the number 1 seed or anything like that. Like I think the East is really wide open. I don't think it's going to matter. I think the team, whoever wins in the West, is going to win out. More than likely, it's going to be OKC. But yeah, Orlando has they could at least at very least a top 4 seed and hosting a first round series. So yeah, they're going to compete really well next year, I think.
Yeah, because people were talking about they spent too much for Bane. I'm just like, no, they didn't. I have no problem with what they spent for Bane. That's my opinion though, because I like Bane.
I don't think he addresses our problems.
What's your problems? Because I'm not a Magic fan. So.
Shooting and spacing. I don't think he addresses those.
Bane, he's like
I told you, he's a really good shooter. So spacing, probably not.
And the things with Bane is that like people don't really realize that like he's used to being the main shot creator in our team because Ja's been hurt and suspended so much. So he's used to that. So imagine him and he plays good with Ja too. So he's used to both. So he can do both. He can switch roles. That's why I like the move for y'all because y'all need a primary shot career, but at the end of the day, y'all still want to have Paolo and Franz develop as a primary shot career. So you got a guy who has experience doing both things. So I love the move. I really love the move for y'all. I thought it was great. That's just me though.
You obviously don't like it. For him. We gave him.
What's a lot? What's a lot to you?
All those picks we gave up. That was a lot of picks. That was like 4 or 5 first round picks.
Okay. Y'all gave the 21st pick, 25th pick, 27th pick, and 30th pick. That's how if you competing, that's how you look at it.
I don't know. Because
I feel like y'all needed to make a move, and this is probably the best guard y'all could have got this offseason. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't know, man.
It's probably the best guard y'all could have got this offseason.
I don't think he makes this any better. I just don't think he makes this any better.
You think? Hey, man. Hey, we'll see. I could be wrong. They just don't mesh, but I love that move for y'all, man. I love that move.
I'll say this: I will be happy if I'm wrong. I will be. I'm not saying that I'm going to be right, but in my gut, something's telling me it's not going to work out the way they want it to work out. I feel like the Magic are being the Magic.
As bad as what happened with Vince Carter. So I mean,
this is almost Vince Carter-esque in
your opinion.
I'm trying to understand. It's like, bro,
Sure.
y'all gave up KCP and Gary Harris for Bane. I know it's the picks too. I get that part.
I wasn't mad at that because I hated Caldwell Pope and I didn't give a fuck about the other person either.
Okay, so you're just mad at the picks.
The other person.
Okay, no, because legit question. You're mad at the picks, and I get that. What players have y'all gotten with y'all late teen and 20s picks? Can you even name those players?
Still though, all of our picks weren't that late.
No. So my thing is about people like.
But no, he's right. If y'all competing, where the picks are going to be.
Ascending teams giving up first round picks never really phases me for real, because it's like if you're really trying to get better, which I really respect the Magic for doing, and trying to invest in the young talent that y'all have. You got to make some moves. You got to try to take some risks. And I really don't think it's that big a risk, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? But I understand. But that's my logic because he played good without Ja and he played good with Ja. So it's kind of like that's why I feel like it's gonna work out for y'all.
Oh, I didn't like us giving up Cole Anthony. I really like Cole Anthony off the bench.
I kind of understand that.
I
And then
really like Cole Anthony off the bench.
And there's always something
he
to say
got
about guard
look,
depth. Yeah.
he got bought out this immediately after he
Yeah.
got traded. So that says like whatever you think about him. He got bought out. I know that was like a mutual thing, but he got
Where's he at now?
Milwaukee.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, we can be off that. But yeah.
All right. Well, all right. Let's move on. College football preview. So Hurricanes preview first, and then we will talk about the ACC. So, what's your expectations for the new year, Austin, after highs and the disappointments of last year? After the really high highs, the second 10-win season in 20 years, but the lows of not being able to make it to CFP, even though we're probably the most talented offense in America. So,
How do I feel coming off the previous season?
After the highs and disappointment, what do you think about this season?
What thing about this season? I'm excited for it. I feel pretty positively about it. I expect at least to get to ACC championship. But I gotta address because I've been, because you know me, I'd be like watching the previews and stuff like that, and I'd be watching the shows whatever like that. What pisses me off is that like because like Nick has noticed it throughout the years or whatever like that, and me, for sure. People really hate Miami, right?
Oh yeah,
And they
can't
pointed
stand
out
us.
accurately that we haven't been shit for the last 20 years. So for them to say that Mario's on the hot seat and his job's on the line if he doesn't perform this year.
That's not true.
That's not fucking true. What are you talking
Because
about?
I've heard that multiple times. And
Really?
yeah. And so he's come, mind you, Mario Cristobal is coming off his second 10-win season in 20 years, but he's on the hot seat. And you've pretty said in your shows that Miami is not shit and they sucked for this amount of years. But Mario has to prove something. But Mario
Is this
has to
something?
do this.
Is this something
Mario has,
Feinbaum said? Because fuck Feinbaum.
it's something like it's like the Joe Rose. What like something? Not the Joe Rose.
Joe
It's
Rose.
like some. It's like a couple of shows I'd be like watching off YouTube. It's like y'all probably would have known, but that's kind of like the kind of type of opinions I've heard that like y'all say that Miami sucks, which we have. I don't like. It's the truth. We've sucked for 20 years, 110%.
Yeah.
So you can't say in the same light that he's on the hot seat if he doesn't perform if you know we've been asked these last 20 years and you gave us the one of the two 10-win seasons in the last 20 years. I just gotta address that. That's just the stupid logic that I be saying about Miami, and then they gonna tell me, oh no, we not hating on Miami, we just calling out this. No, you're saying dumb
They
shit
moved the goalposts for Miami, but we've known
a
this.
lot.
And
A lot. So it's like
it actually really disappoints me. But
I think the thing about
saying?
Coleman this season, obviously we wouldn't have him if he didn't get injured, but if we didn't get injured, I feel like people would be like a lot more optimistic about the season. But like I think the receiving core is a question mark, and the safety room is a question mark. So that's like kind of like my concerns going into the season. But I feel pretty good about it. Obviously, the Notre Dame game is going to be like a great indicator like of how it's going to happen or whatever like that. But I feel like if we go 1-1 against Notre Dame and Florida, I feel like we're in great shape. So
I also agree with that. And I'd rather it be Notre Dame. Fuck Notre Dame. All right, go ahead, Nick. Fuck Notre Dame. Go ahead, go ahead, Nick.
What's my question? What do I think of Miami?
What do you think? What do you think of as an outside fan? Not a fan of Miami. He's a Florida State alum. It's clear. As an outsider looking in, what do you think about what Miami has done over the last 3 years, Cristobal, and the outlook for this year? If you have an opinion on the outlook, because I doubt you've been following it like we have. So.
What I think Cristobal has done for you guys is created stability to an extent. He's created a floor where it's like, okay, we should never surpass this level of, just like
so
we should never
what
be
happened
worse
to Florida
than
State
this.
last year will never happen to Miami. Is that what you're saying? Under Cristobal.
Wasn't gonna go that far.
Well,
look, I get mad at Florida State fans coming at me
still, the transfer portal is a double-edged sword, and that's what Florida State fell to. We succeeded one year, we got stabbed ourselves in the fucking foot one year, the next year. So,
I can understand that. My problem is that Miami won as many games as Florida and Florida State combined last year, and yet the fan base is still talking about it.
I mean,
Oh,
but
Florida State?
they
That's a
all gonna talk
rivalry.
shit.
That's
Florida
going to
State.
happen. Not
They
everybody's
gonna
logical.
talk shit, bro. They gonna talk shit.
Yeah,
It is
not
what it
everybody's
is.
logical.
Oh no,
They gonna
Not
talk-
everybody talks shit with intelligence.
That's
more
that's,
That's my
fact.
issue.
That's a fact.
That is my issue. Talk shit with intelligence. Because basically all I have to say is 2 and 10, and you get mad. Oh, you always gonna go back to what's 2 and 10 and shit like that. I was like,
Now, why else would I
Well,
go down
first
to
off,
2
you
and
guys
10?
live in the past. You always talk about the championships you guys won
And
all the
y'all
way
don't.
back in.
Hey, look here. Florida State fans, as general, do too. Look, we all live in the fucking past. You know why? Because it was better for all
Well,
three of us a long time
2013 is a
ago.
whole lot closer than 2003 or whatever.
Which
Nigga, that's
I
still
have no
12.
problem.
Ew,
I have no
hey,
problem.
Nick,
I have no problem admitting that.
it's about to be
I'll
that
admit
way.
that.
It's about to be that way for y'all. It's
And I
about to be
admit that.
13 years
No, but
now.
don't sit there and say that we're the only ones who fucking do it, because that's not true.
I'm just saying, for the majority of Miami fans I hear talk, they always bring up how they have those national championships from the
And
past.
that's true. I have a
That's
shirt that has
yo, bro. That's facts. Hey, yo,
But
you
the
just
thing is,
heard me
though,
say,
it's all
you just
three
heard me say
fandoms.
we've been
Like,
asked
that's
20 years. It's the truth.
yeah.
I'm
But
not
that's the thing.
disputing
It's all three fandoms. And that's always been my problem with that statement, is that all three fandoms do it. And I know,
Especially now.
And I've been around all of them enough to know, because I lived in Tallahassee for a long time. They talk a lot about the past too. You know, a lot of Florida State fans come bring up to me, hey man, we finished top 5 14 years in a row. You know how long ago that was? When Miami was winning national championships during those 14 years. So no, I want to hear that shit. Like, come on, man. It's like, and then I heard a lot about
they would bring up the 90s, and I'm like, all right, bro.
Ever hear about, like, I'm just saying, like, it's all of us. But like, when it bring up the bowl streak that happened. But then that
that bowl streak was impressive. 30 years making
what's
the bowl.
also impressive? The 58-game home win streak by UM. But you know what?
Yo, y'all doing it right now. Y'all doing it right now, bro.
No. But that wasn't that long ago that streak ended. That was only 4 or 5 years ago that the streak ended.
No, it ended like 10 years ago now. It was Taggart's first year. So it was like 7 years.
First year wasn't 10 years ago.
7 years. Because 2025. His first year was like 2018. I
think it was 2017.
No, they made because Jimbo's last year was 2017. That's when we got 10 wins.
We made a bowl.
They got 6 wins. They made a bowl.
On a technicality, we made a bowl. They gave it to us.
They made a bowl.
Okay.
So
that was 2018? 2017?
2018 was Taggart's first year. Y'all didn't make the bowl.
All right, so about 7 years. Okay.
You're right. It wasn't that long ago. But technically, the way that they used to say it to us back then, it might as well have been decades ago. But that's all. That's what I'm gonna say about that. We'll get to like the expectations for State in a moment. But I want to, like, from what you can see. Go ahead.
From what I can see, I mean, this is just an outsider. I don't dive too much in depth in the whole offseason stuff. But I think Carson Beck is a stabilizer. He's not going to turn the ball over. He's got a proven track record at, Georgia. He's a veteran and within college football. So it's not a bad move. I don't think it's earth-shattering, as in it's going to send you guys over the edge. I think you guys are going to have to rely a lot on your defense again, or
not again.
Let me not say again. You guys need
defense last year.
The defense is going to need to step up this year. Let me rephrase that. The defense is going to need to step up this year.
Thank you.
I think for you guys, you guys, and you could speak better to me, I think you guys might have lost something in y'all's run game. Y'all run game is not going to be as good.
I disagree.
You disagree?
I disagree.
Okay. I'm the outsider.
Losing someone like Damian Martinez is always a blow. But having a fully healthy Mark Fletcher, having a fully healthy Jordan Lyle, and a couple of other running backs we picked up in the transfer portal, I'm actually really excited about our running back.
No, we bring back 4 starters on the line, so that's why I disagree.
So it also, our O-line, which was a top 5 unit in the country, as long as they're back, I'm good too. So running game, I'm not worried about.
I think you guys should win the ACC this year. I'm not a believer in Clemson. I don't think Clemson's going to be good. They keep talking about that white boy at quarterback. I've watched him for the past 3 years.
He got better.
I don't think he's good.
He did get better. He did get better.
He probably got better. That doesn't mean he got good.
I think he's good.
We'll talk about.
I think he's good.
We'll talk about Klubnik in a minute. For sure.
But yeah,
you were saying, Nick, you think Miami can get to ACC championship game and win?
I think you guys should win the ACC championship game, and in and of itself should give you a berth into the playoffs.
Yeah. All right. Austin,
So
is
I
that how you
definitely
feel?
think you guys have a playoff contender because I don't know what Florida State's bringing to the table this year. I'm gonna just be honest. I have no
Well, I
idea.
mean, if you want to get into the meet and greet of the Miami team, like they bring back 4 stars.
Yeah.
They bring back they do this whole thing which annoys me, just to be transparent as a Miami fan. We got in our yearly transfer at center, but we bring back 4 stars on the line. Bring back Mark Fletcher, who was like a 600-yard rusher from last year. Got a blue chip
And he
guy,
was hurt
Jordan
too. That's what
Lyle.
people forget.
Got
Didn't have a full
Jordan
camp.
Lyle. So, and then we got a transfer from North Dakota State who rushed for like 1,200 yards and won the Jerry Rice Award. So I feel like the running game could be like a little bit better, honestly. And I feel like we're going to rely on like a lot more because like Cam was obviously phenomenal, whatever like that, but he checked out of a lot of running plays last year to just throw the ball. And I'm not going to bring that up because it's Cam, and Cam was the best quarterback in probably Miami's history. But at the end of the day, like he did.
I don't really think that's a debate. But you go
Yeah,
ahead.
so he really, like he definitely needs to be held accountable for like the fact that like because like the criticism was like, yeah, like we blew the Syracuse game because we didn't run the ball, which is true. But at the end of the day, like Dawson called runs. Cam just checked out of them. Like
Yeah.
because he had that power at the line to check out of plays and do what he wanted to do. And it led to us having the best offense in the country. I'm not going to put it, so I'm not going to focus on it so much, but that is what happened. But I think this year it won't be as much. I think Carson Beck will still have that command of the offense because he's a 6-year senior. So they're going to give him command of the offense. But I do think he's going to let them run the ball. Because I don't think Cam necessarily changed the play because he saw something. I think he changed the play because he wanted to do something.
He saw the Cam was a big play chaser. That's the only thing that you could say was a bad thing about Cam, but it really wasn't. It was just how that offense was designed anyway. But I agree. I think that I think the floor for Miami is 9-3, in my opinion. I think there are some tricky ACC games. I think 1-1 against that Notre Dame Florida set I think is good too. For me, I want the Notre Dame game. We beat Florida last year. I'm cool with that. I want the Notre Dame game more than anything because I fucking hate it.
I get it, but man, I be on Twitter, so I can't.
I understand now. I understand how there are going to be other Miami fans who are going to be the reverse of that. But also me with my dad going to Florida and like I don't like it is what it is with that, and so I'm cool with that. Like, because a part of me wants to see Florida succeed too, so there's that part in it. But I know this is like for me. I have so much dislike, because I feel like it's so easy for them to get whatever the fuck they want. Everyone else is struggling to be in a conference, and all these things we talk about hierarchy when it comes to college football, and a lot of things
they got their
change.
spot tied up. They cool. They chilling.
And I feel like exactly they're tied. They're good. They do whatever they want as long as they win 9, 10 games, they're in the playoff basically. Because if they win 9, 10 games, Notre Dame's going to be among the top 12 teams in the country. That's how it's going to be for them. Because that's the way that the media loves them. The media loves on Notre Dame. So that's why I want that badly. But for me, I think Nick's right. There's a floor that I think Cristobal has established. One, I think it's all started on the interior line. I remember the very first episode we all worked together. I listened to it not too long ago. We talked about how what was going to change, what Miami needed to get to the level of what Georgia and Alabama were doing at the time was going to change the interior, the offensive line and defensive line. And I think that Cristobal has done a phenomenal job doing that. Seeing the offensive line and D-line in person, like when I watched the Florida State game with y'all last year, they are some big dudes. Like these look like NFL ready guys. These don't look like the players that we would see when I would go watch them when Rick and Diaz were coaching. And no disrespect to them because there are a lot of things that Rick and Diaz did. I think that will need more credit for where Miami is at now. But Miami needed a reset with Cristobal because, like I said, losing to a group of five, and I always say, losing to a group of five team like Middle Tennessee State shows me you don't have the talent to compete in the Power Four like we did. But now I have no questions about that. And a lot of the college shows that I listen to because I don't like the biased stuff. I listen to a lot of unbiased people. A lot of unbiased things are like the things that Miami are doing. They acknowledge the fact that Miami has not been good in the last 20 years, and I have to acknowledge that. But they like the way they're.
I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, because it's the truth. Everything I'm gonna live in the past, but also I'm gonna be the first one to tell you, yeah, we've sucked the last 20 years because I have standards as a UM fan as well. So like, and I'm not like. Also, I'm never one to say, "Oh, the U is back." U's not back till they win the national championship. That's how we see it. That's how true UM fans see it. This is how it is. But I feel like a lot of the pundits that talk about Miami are like, they think that even when we're good and we start being good and we start getting like a little confident, they think that that's what we're thinking, that the U is back. No, we're just happy that we're not ass. Because it's just it's been so few years the last 20 that we have not been ass. We have what, maybe I think 6 9-win seasons and 2 10-win seasons in the last 20. Like for us, anything less than that is ass and everything like that. Now it has not been as bad as some of the other seasons that have happened for other people, but it's what we want. And I think I'm so glad of where we're at. I just think that, well, we're gonna find out. I think in the next couple of years, if Cristobal is like, I think I told you this, Nick, is like if he's really a championship coach or if he's just a good recruiter or just a good coach.
I don't know.
Like, that's the question. Like I asked, you asked me that question, and I was like, I don't know, because that's the truth. It's like if as soon as he wins the championship, that'll change. But I'll answer my question.
Yeah, that's what happens to people who come championship. Because for years Kirby Smart was just the recruiter who could get Georgia over the hump. And
they got him over the hump. Now he's a championship coach. So
and what I do like about Chris Paul, like I feel like I feel like whatever flaw you could say about him, the previous year to the next year, I feel like he's improved upon that each year. That's why I'm not really like too down on him. I'm actually pretty high on this point because like I don't think he's getting complacent at all. Honestly,
yeah, he's working on his coaching. Like he had, like there are a lot of people used to talk about his clock management. He was eons better last year. Like he was like so much better.
And they still got on his ass about it. And it's early so, but they like, bro, we don't win the Cal game, Virginia Tech game. We didn't win that game without the clock management that we had that game. Mm-hmm. So it's like you gotta give credit. Like you can't. That's what I really like about our fan base and fan bases in general is that like you rag on a guy for some stuff. He improves upon it, obviously. But when like some of the same stuff comes back in smaller instances, you're like, yeah, there go Cristobal again. And it's like, nigga, you ain't say nothing when he improved upon it.
But it's what Nick just said. Talking shit with intelligence. It's like being able to differentiate about what's going bad and what's not. All right, so let's move on to the ACC. All right, so got a few topics here about the ACC. I think there are a few teams that top heavy. I think when it comes to, and correct me if y'all think I'm wrong if I'm missing a team, but I think when it comes to competing for ACC this year, it's probably going to be Clemson, SMU, Miami, Louisville, and begrudgingly, I will say Georgia Tech because of their returning production. So
you think all those teams are competing for the ACC championship?
I think that ACC has always been a wide open thing. And I think that the way the schedules are, I think they are outside competing right now. That team that's going to get cut in half as soon as like we get the first 2 weeks of ACC play out the way because they'll play each other and they'll beat each other. But I think those are teams that are like on the right now. They're like around the top 25. They're around the teams that should compete for it. SMU I think is going to compete again because I feel like their schedule they only really have a couple hard games. They don't play Clemson. They play us. So I think they play Louisville as well, but that's pretty much the only they have a pretty easy ACC schedule. They went undefeated in the ACC last year. So I don't think they go undefeated again, but they'll be competing, in my opinion. So basically, what comes back to it, I know both of y'all talked a little bit about Clemson. Nick, let me get your opinion on them. Do you think they're back to dominating ACC, or do you think they take a step back?
I can't say they're back to dominating the ACC.
So do you think they take a step back? I'm getting a lot of positivity about Club Nick. Everybody's like, "Oh, Club Nick's this, Club Nick's that." I watched him play the Louisville game. I didn't think he was impressive. I thought the Pittsburgh game, I thought they should have lost. As soon as I turned away, he had that 70-yard run. So I mean, hey, a lot of people around here really like Club Nick. He's going to win the Heisman Trophy. They're really high on Clemson around here. Yeah, I have a lot of people I've talked to.
If he does, I think that speaks to how small the quarterback group is this year.
You think so? Okay.
I don't think it's a big quarterback group. All right, let's see. They're going to play Louisiana State, play LSU their first game. Okay, that's a tough game. Then they play Troy University. That'll be a win. Then they play Georgia Tech. That'll be a difficult game for them. Then they'll play Syracuse. That'll be a win. They play the Tar Heels. I don't know. We'll see what they have this year. I'm not really sure with the whole Bill Belichick thing. Boston College is a win. SMU, they'll struggle against SMU.
Oh, they do play SMU. Okay.
They'll beat Duke. Then they play us, which I think we can beat them if we're any type of good. I don't think Clemson's going to come out. My thing is, I didn't see enough of Clemson's defense last year to be like, oh, yeah, they're going to be dominant again. Because believe it or not, I always felt like Clemson hung their hat defensively. Like, yes, their offense was always good, but it was their defense that was always outstanding.
Some of the best defensive line in NCAA history.
Yeah, exactly. They've had some of the best defenses over the past 10 years in college football when they went on their runs. And I don't see that this year for them. So that's why I can't say they're going to go back to dominating the ACC. But the ACC is a soft conference now. So, I mean, you could take that with a grain of salt if you want to. Do I think that they're going to be unbeatable, like they're going to run over teams this season? No, I don't even think that's going to be close. I think people are really trying to hold on to the Dabo magic, which I think it's run out. I think Dabo really relied heavily on his defensive coordinators, offensive coordinators of the past heavily.
I'll say this: it took some Dabo magic for them to win the ACC championship game last year. If that's how it felt watching the game, and I felt SMU was the better team watching that game, but they kind of pulled it out in the end.
I didn't think they were. I feel like SMU pulled that last finish out their ass. I can't lie, because I feel like Clemson dominated the game. Honestly,
well, I felt like. Well, this thing, SMU was a team that had turned the ball over 6 times in a game and won.
Yeah, they had a bunch of turnovers, and I didn't feel like it was Clemson that was doing it. The quarterback was literally just throwing the ball away.
Yeah.
So. Because then he tightened up in the second half, and the second half was a much better game, and Clemson had a much harder time playing that game.
So what do you think about Clemson this year then? What do you see for them? Do you think they're the team that plays Miami ACC championship game?
I think they are.
All right.
Possibly, yeah, but I don't think that speaks volumes though.
All right. Well, that's not good. But I mean, that's the thing. I think this is the year I think the ACC has got to stave off what's trying to come in the future when it comes to these conference dominating the media and dominating the playoff. I think ACC has to step up and try to be the team that wins the championship this year. Otherwise, the Big Ten and the SEC are going to have much more to stand on when it comes to that argument. And I don't think that's good.
I will say this: after 2026, the ACC will almost not exist. Because that's when the contracts are up, right? In 2026, I think that's when Florida State's able to, after the 2026 season, Florida State's able to get out of the contract.
Yeah, the contracts are, they've got to pay a hefty fine. But yeah.
But it's not as hefty as it was.
But you said what?
It's not as hefty as it was, the fine.
Yeah, it's a lower. We still got to pay. It's still a large. It's still a large sum of cash they got to pay. But.
And then, like Florida State, for example, still has a lot of things caught up in other people and other coaches, technically. So at the moment, so we'll see. But I know this. I think Miami will try to follow. If FSU does it, Clemson will probably do it, and Miami will probably follow them too.
No, so that's what I'm saying.
And I'm not saying that's what I want for college football. I don't at all. I love the thought of how college football used to be, but the fact of the matter is the ACC is not bringing any money in at all. And you can't continue to compete when your conference isn't getting any money. Like when you dive into the disparaging rates upon which ACC schools are making compared to other ones, there's no way that the ACC, there's no way you can ask top tier programs to try to stay.
And then another thing, it kind of ties into recruiting as well, because at the end of the day, what kid wants to play for a school that's in for a school that's in the ACC that the media doesn't really care about? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That like they want to play for the SEC schools, they want to play for the Big Ten schools. Like that's the reality of shit. And the thing is, my problem with Dabo, why I really don't like him, is his refusal to use the portal. And he finally did it this year. And I really feel like he kind of I really feel like he let his team down by being a stubborn bigot because he didn't want to use the portal because he was so annoyed and mad that players were getting paid.
Football is changing.
Yeah, and
I understand his frustration though.
I understand his frustration, but that's that good old boy. That's that good old boy logic that I don't.
Yeah, understand. It's
these players deserve to get paid.
Understand the frustration, Like,
There's regulations that need to be put in place, but these players deserve to get paid. They're making billions.
It's like Nick.
Facts.
He like you understand his frustration as he walks into his $1 million house with $100,000 car.
Yeah.
Because technically he's the highest paid employee
government
in
official
in the state of South Carolina. And that's the thing. That's the thing about this. That's what's always pissed me off about the way Nick Saban, Dabo Sweeney, a lot of these coaches have pro.
It makes sense that he's that Nick Saban is Dabo Sweeney's mentor or whatever. I think they're tied in some type of way or whatever like that. It makes sense.
They both have ties to Alabama, so they were close. So yeah.
So it makes sense.
But like that's the thing, they like these guys are the highest paid like educational employees because that's technically what they are in their states. And so all the money is going to them, but they have a problem with these. Come on, man. It's just
like so I know like Nick, I know so I don't understand his frustration. You made millions of dollars off these kids. You negotiated contract extensions.
No, I understand his frustration in the way that in the sense of the way college football is changing. It makes it harder to build consistent programs. I'm a big believer in saying that students should be getting paid. That's what I've always said that.
I understand that,
but my thing is a free for all right now, and I don't like that. But
I understand that shit. But I think Mario Cristobal says it the best. Kids have always been paid.
This is true.
They've always been paid.
It makes it harder for them to cheat. Yeah, I get it.
No, exactly. So and that's why I don't. That's why I'm saying fuck his frustration because like just because it's out in the open now, you can't cheat in peace. That's why you're upset. Then the whole Bible thumping he be doing. That's why I don't like him, and that's why I don't like Nick Saban as well because he's on the same type of thing. Oh, I can't cheat in peace now, and kids are asking me in person to pay them what I'm worth, and he did not like that, and that's why he's out of coach right now, and that's why he cried to Trump because he did not like that, and that's why I don't like either one of these coaches because like they're very disingenuous with like the way they talk about that type of stuff. So it's just
that's why I don't like Pete Carroll. So the same way.
It is what it is. Like at least Pete Carroll had the balls to get out the game.
Yeah, I'll say that. But he left. But he left in the dry after because he knew all that.
He
shit
left
was coming.
USC in shambles.
Yeah. Smart man. He knew all that shit was coming.
Man. Hey, like I understand not liking Pete Carroll. At least he had the wherewithal to be like, "Yep, I'm wrong. Let me just leave this place because he ain't gonna preach to us about it. Like that's my thing about it. He not preaching to us about it. He just left.
He used USC like a condom. He used them motherfuckers like condoms, busting nuts and just left them on the side of the street. That program was ass after he left. All the allegations, that shit.
Oh my god,
he did them motherfuckers dirty.
I don't. So all right, let's move on for a little bit. We got about 30 minutes left, so let's get to it. FSU, dude. Is there a bounce back incoming? Do we believe what Castaneto's saying about Alabama? You know, he doubled down on that shit in the media day. Like, what do you? I know you said that you didn't know what they were coming as a Florida State fan. I'll let Austin kind of.
We have a chance. We have a chance to win the Alabama game in the sense that we've had all offseason to prepare for the Alabama game.
Heard.
That is the only chance in my mind, and I'm not even saying that as if like Alabama's been so dominant. Because, you know, there was a lot of chinks in the armor last year. But what I'm saying is we went 2-10. We have deficits everywhere. Everywhere. Now, does it make for good headlines in the news, us talking shit? Yeah. Does it hype the game up? Sure. But does it put a bigger bullseye on us when we go out there and we lay a fucking goose egg? Lord knows, I hope we don't. But I think that could be possibility of ours. I don't know though, but I don't think Alabama's going to be. I don't even think Alabama's going to be as good as they were last year. To be honest with you,
I don't think Alabama was good last year. Oh, wait, let me rephrase that.
So you're expecting a huge drop off.
Yeah. Do I think Alabama was deserving of being a playoff team last year? No, I don't.
No, they shouldn't have made the playoffs. We all know that.
Shouldn't even sniff the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't think you lose 24-3 to Oklahoma and you're a playoff team. No.
Yeah, that's kind of like my issue with
garbage.
That's another thing I hate. Like this whole SEC bias. Yeah. It's like, bro, like I'll let it go right now. Yeah,
garbage last year.
They're not a good team, but because they're in the SEC, They're a garbage team, but they're in the SEC though, so they're not that bad.
But I do think we have an opportunity to win that game. Like if we win that game, my jaw's not going to be on the floor. But it's like
I'll be laughing.
we're like the Boise State. We're going to be Boise State, where it's like there's only 2 games you had to prepare for all season. This is one of them. You damn right better put out your best effort. And if you win the game, it's like, well, yeah, you had all season to prepare for the game, right? So we had all off season to prepare for Alabama, huh?
Yeah, but y'all got 4 games on y'all want: Alabama, Miami, Clemson, and Florida.
No, yeah. So these are the games that These are the games I say Norvell can lose and still keep his job. We can lose the Alabama game, Clemson game, Miami game, and Florida game. He can still keep his job. If he loses any other games other than those 4 games,
you think he's done?
If he loses any other game besides those 4 games, he's gone.
And he needs to win the game that you're supposed to win. The game that you're supposed to win.
Win the games you're supposed to win.
But I'll say this. I'll say this in my opinion. I think before last year, I think he had done a great job of doing that.
He did, and that's the thing why I say the transfer portal is a double-edged sword. Because I think what Mike Norvell is really good at is building cultures, right? But we pull so much from the transfer portal. We pull so much from the transfer portal, nobody stays longer than 2 seasons. We got lucky with that just because we had a lot of carryover from when he first got there.
Also, I think Jordan Travis just deserves a lot more credit as well.
Yeah, and he was a culture and he's the leader. The 2 of them were aligned. He doesn't have that, and it's going to be hard for him to find that, especially just going to the transfer portal every single time. I don't know. College football is it's in a weird spot right now as far as programs building consistency. I think you've had your historic programs like your Alabamas, your Georgias, and stuff like that are going to build consistency and that they'll keep it.
But they'll try.
Yeah, they'll try. But like, there's going to be a lot of programs. There's going to be a lot of programs they're going to be really good one season. They're going to be terrible one season. They're going to be really good one season. They're going to be terrible one season. So I think we fell victim to that. I wholeheartedly, and I'm going on record, I think Mike Norvell is a really good coach. I do. I do not think last season was his fault. I said that he had a bad group of guys. It's just the wet blanket thing. Like once you're down, you're just down. You can't get back up. It's hard to get that off. But it's a new season. I think this season will prove it. I think all the games we should win, they should be easy games to win. Like we played East Texas A&M. That's a win. Kent State's not good. Virginia's not good. Pittsburgh, that's a win. I'm not a believer in Stanford. Wake Forest might give us a little bit of trouble,
Stanford's
but
garbage, yeah.
We should beat Wake Forest. And then Virginia Tech, that should be a win. It may be a difficult win, but that should be a win. And then NC State, that's always up in the air, but that's the one primetime game we're guaranteed this year, which is on a Friday night. And I ultimately think we should win that game too. So, I mean, all the games we should win. Now, Florida, they're going to be better than us. Clemson, I think we could beat Clemson. I'll be honest, Miami's a rivalry. Lord willing, we show up this season, but you guys could beat us. And then, other than that, I mean, at most, we lose 4 games.
So that's your floor? 8-4 is your floor, you think?
Yeah, that's my floor.
So you're expecting like a big jump from last year, because obviously you can't.
Well, obviously, 2-10. There's no fucking way we go back to that. No fucking way we go back to that.
Nowhere to go but up.
I will say this. If he loses the Alabama game, then loses the Kent State game and Virginia, he's fired. We're not getting immediately fired. He gets fired before the Miami game comes.
That's like
that's the worst case scenario.
Third quarter of that.
He gets fired way before then.
Yeah, that's worst case scenario.
That's happening.
Yeah,
there's no way.
Kent State game, they losing bro, pack your motherfucking bags, bro.
Yeah, if we lose that Kent State game and Virginia, there's no way for him to keep his job. There's no way. So, yes, that's my floor.
All right. Awesome. What's your opinion? Also, what's your opinion on FSC? I know you looked a little bit more into them. Do you think the floor is 8-4 for them?
8-4. I'm not really sure about their defense, honestly, because I feel like they had a good defense last year. I just feel like the offense was garbage.
I agree.
Oh, our defense kept us.
Yeah,
We
I feel like
blown
they kept
out.
y'all in
I'll
games.
say that. People said our defense was trash. I said no.
No, I disagree.
I said
with
for
that.
defense being on the field 75% of the game, I said our defense is phenomenal.
No, because I think back
look at the Duke game. Like y'all, the offense starting position for Duke was like y'all own 30-yard line.
Yeah, so it's like because they said our defense was trash a couple years ago at Miami. I'm like, no, like the offense sucked. Like I feel like the defense was good, but yeah, I feel like defense. I don't really know about the defense. I know y'all lost our corners because y'all always have good man corners for some reason. It's annoying, but yeah, you always have good man corners. I don't know if y'all had the same thing going on this year, and I don't really know about y'all safeties. I know Daryl Jackson's back, but I don't really know about y'all edges. I don't really know about y'all linebackers, so I don't really know. I know offense, y'all got like a lot of players who were like down and out that had hype, but didn't really like live up to it. I know y'all have like a few players like that, but that's kind of what the portal is filled with. They're filled with players like that. But Gus Malzahn is a good offensive coordinator. So like maybe with like the tool that y'all have, maybe y'all can make something shake. So it's like, like, I'm not totally down on it, but like I feel like Castellanos, like the way he's been talking, he's hilarious. Him saying that he dominated the ACC was hilarious.
How? You got
like,
fired. You lost your starting job on a team
him saying that was
that
hilarious.
finished they were third to last in the ACC.
Yeah,
I'm
saying that was hilarious. So it's just like, look, and him like just look. I feel it though. Like this is his last stop. He's trying to instill confidence in his guys. So I get it. But even Alabama clapping back, I was like, bro, like you lost to Vanderbilt, bro, and Vanderbilt lost to Georgia State. So it's kind of like anything can happen. Like, look, it's like in my head, how I feel about Alabama. If you can lose to Vanderbilt, you can lose to anybody. So that's how I feel about it.
Vanderbilt had that magic last year. They had that juice though.
Yeah, bro, Nick, they lost to Georgia State.
Yeah, but when they came up against
two things can be true.
They came to play.
Yeah,
when they
Alabama.
thought they was gonna be down and out, they came and played.
But the thing about Alabama is like, and what I don't think people are understanding is like when had people not come to play against Alabama, that shit did not fucking matter. That shit mattered last year, obviously. You know what I'm saying?
Like what it speaks to is that there are a lot more holes in that team.
I think I think that aura is dying a little bit, man. Like I don't think. I mean, I feel like it's the NIL era. And also, it's just like Nick Saban's gone. Like Nick Saban, and I don't like him at all. But yeah, he's definitely one of the goats of his college football stuff.
But also, every empire falls. Like well, that's one thing. That's one thing that's always going to be true. Nothing lasts forever. Even in college football, even in any of these sports, it's like, look, when I was a kid, I thought after Miami went through all the bullshit it went through in the '90s and we got good, I was like, man, this is never ending. We've gone 20 years where it's had 2 10-win seasons. I'm not saying that's going to happen at Alabama.
But that's rough.
But I mean, like everything comes to an end. Like every empire ends, and I think there is a turning of the guard in there. I think Georgia's Georgia. I think that Texas. I didn't think that Texas was going to acclimate as good to it, but now looking back, the way Sarkisian built that team. He's built that team the way Alabama's built that team because he worked for Saban. He watched him do it. So they're gonna be good for a while. He recruits so well, and plus they got Texas money.
The Texas thing, they've always recruited well. So it's like I knew they really wouldn't have a problem with going to the SEC. They always recruited
also
well.
Too, they build the teams from the interior out, which is what I think that's what people fail to realize about those Alabama teams. Alabama and Georgia, the defensive line, offensive lines. And when Clemson was very good, defensive line, offensive lines were great. And that's why I'm excited about Miami. The offensive line, defensive lines are great. So that's where your talent is. And that's how you build solid floor level teams that can get you somewhere. So
I always thought Clemson offensive lines weren't that good, but the defensive lines,
Interior.
Interior for sure. I think they were good. I think they were good college offensive lines for sure.
So I mean, I think that's why I think Florida's going to be a lot better. It may not show on their record because they have such a also another gauntlet of a schedule again. But I think the only offensive line I think that's going to be that's going to be better than theirs is maybe ours. But even so, like Slaughter is the best center in the league, and that's where the only question mark for Miami is. So for Florida, I think Florida's going to be a lot better, but we'll just have to see. Also, Lagway needs to be healthy, and also Lagway does need to improve. Lagway didn't hit 60% of his passes last year, and I don't think the defense is going to be as good. So we have to see.
I think they know who Lagway is now.
Yeah,
because like he got away with. Well, I don't gonna say he got away with a lot, but like they know what
he
he's good at
surprised
now.
people though. He
Nah,
surprised people. And also, I think that people didn't. People also, I think, underestimated how good Florida's receivers are. Florida had a very good crop of receivers last year, in my opinion. They can get down the field, can catch passes, and make plays for them. So, and then like I think Florida's going to be very good offensively, but I think maybe we'll talk about that in the CFP predictions. But as far as ACC, so Nick, right now you said you have Clemson and Miami in your championship game. As far as ACC,
yeah, yeah.
Austin, what do you have? ACC championship game.
I got Clemson, Miami.
Clemson, Miami. I'm gonna go with Clemson, Miami too. I do feel good about it. I do think Miami is gonna slip up in the ACC. I don't think they go undefeated in the ACC. I think because there's some tricky games at the end. Again, I think the SMU game is in a tricky spot. I don't like that Miami basically in November is on the road the entire month. I hate that. I think there's a trip. There may be a trip up there.
Florida State's got a shit ton of home games this year. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Oh, do we actually? I think we have like 8.
We do, but I think 7 of the first 8 we're at home, and then but like 3 of the last 4 on the road in November.
Yeah, they always do some weird stuff to our schedule. That's so weird. They all do some. Because the buys, the buy before first and the buy after first. It's so weird to me.
It's a weird buy to have, and it's at the beginning of the season. So like Miami basically is going to play the last 7 games, 7 weeks straight without a break, and then going and being on the road the entire November. So that's a tough schedule as well. I mean, still not as tough as Florida's. So which is something I will not get started. All right, so let's get the early predictions for the CFP. Not gonna really dive into depth to the other conferences this time. Not enough time for that. But who's your predictions for the CFP? Like in your opinion, who's winning SEC? Who's winning the Big 10? Who's winning the Big 12? And who is your group of 5 team that's going to the playoff? Start off with you, Ajack.
Got Penn State win the Big 10. I got Texas win the SEC. Okay. I got Clemson win the ACC. I got Texas Tech win the Big 12.
All right.
And I got a group of 5 team. I don't know.
Texas Tech. There's a lot of buzz about.
Hey, best the money can buy. Best the money can buy with that team. Yep. Best the money can buy.
They bought a lot of NIL money.
The
Texas money goes deep.
Nah, for sure. So it's like, who else? Group of 5. I guess I'll just go Boise State because they always seem like the good group of 5 team. I guess I'll just go with them.
Heard. Nick, what's your opinions?
I've got. Can we do Big 10 championship?
Yep, Big 10.
I want to say, does Michigan come back to prominence?
No,
probably not.
How do you say no?
It's receiving core.
You think so?
Yeah, I think it was good.
Their receivers during their run were actually a lot better than people thought. But
yeah, they just didn't use them a lot. So
yeah.
They still had them.
But they don't. You saying they don't have none right now?
Mm-hmm.
So no one for Bryce Underwood to throw to.
And in my opinion, you don't get a quarterback like that to just do what they've been doing. Even when JJ McCarthy was there, he wasn't Underwood. So you don't bring in a quarterback like that and run the same so that you've been running. But it's kind of just like run the ball, people throw. So they're going to try to throw the ball, and I don't think they're going to have I don't think they got the horses for it.
Fair.
Well, they like to run the ball. I'm going to say, I don't know. Let's go. Ohio State doesn't have a quarterback. I would say Ohio State if they had a quarterback.
Yeah, that's why I said Penn State, because I don't believe in Ohio State quarterback situation right now.
Penn State always manages to lose, though. That's why I don't want to say Penn State. I honestly have no idea. I'm going to go Ohio State because I think they're going to end up finding a quarterback. So I'm going to go Ohio State. I'm going to go Texas for the SEC, which is going to be crazy. I'm going to go. Who do I want to go for the Big 12? I can't say Oklahoma. They're hot garbage.
Garbage.
You mean Oklahoma State for Big 12? That's what you mean?
I wouldn't say Oklahoma State either. I'm not a believer in them either. Let me see. Why do y'all say Texas Tech?
Because they have the best team that money can buy.
They bought the most. They literally bought the most.
There's a lot of hype about it.
They got
a lot of big NIL.
Like whatever, like they got the best player. They've gotten probably like 4 or 5 best players on Power 4 teams. They got the best player off UCF from last year. They got the best player off Georgia Tech's defense. They got a couple players. They bought a couple players off a couple good G5 teams. Like the best money you can buy. Like you know what I'm saying.
They still ain't got no fucking coaching.
That's fine.
I mean, the Big 12 is not really known.
The Big 12 is trash.
I would have said Arizona.
Yeah.
I would have said Arizona State, but I don't really believe in them this year. I think they're gonna take a little bit of a step back.
I think Cam Scatterboot was a lot more important to them than I think that. I think emotionally they just take a step back, even though they still got that quarterback who apparently was really good last year. I think Cam Scatterboot not being there hurts them a lot. So I agree with the Texas Tech pick, actually.
Fuck it, I'm picking a dark horse out of nowhere. Houston.
Houston?
Yeah.
All right, Houston. All right,
and
so you
then,
got Houston, Texas. Who's your ACC champion? You said
Miami.
Okay.
I said Miami. I'm gonna go Miami. I think y'all still win the ACC.
And do you have a group of 5 opinion, or?
I don't want to say Boise State because I feel like they lost their running back, so they're not gonna be good.
It's a good program though, so I believe in them.
All right,
that's true. Fuck it, I do Boise State, man. Even though I really don't want to.
Heard on that. For me, ACC wise, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go on a limb. I'm gonna take Clemson. Clemson. I'm gonna take Miami. ACC. I think Miami beats Clemson. I think they get over the hump.
They already bet on it, but
you bet on Miami to win the ACC already?
Not bet on them to win more than 10 games.
Oh,
and I bet on them to make the ACC championship.
What are the odds?
They got the second best odds in the ACC.
Let me go on my hard rock out.
Big 12. I take Texas Tech. I do think BYU and Arizona State will give them a run for the money, but you know, I think
Utah?
I don't know. Cam Rising is gone, so I don't know. Like, there's a lot. So, when Cam Rising was there, it's hard to bet against him, but he hadn't really been there the last 3 years, and
375 is their odds. 375 is their odds.
No, that's not bad.
So, SEC, yeah, you know what? I'll give it to Texas. I
think LSU could win too.
LSU, I think is a dark horse too, but I don't.
Hey, like what I said about Texas Tech. LSU also has the best team money could buy. I think they won the portal this year. So,
fuck LSU.
Hey man,
I hate Jim Kelly.
So
I don't like him either.
Yeah, I don't like Chip Kelly either.
He can't fucking coach.
I disagree with that. I think he's a joker.
Not worth a damn.
I think he's an awful person, but I don't know about him not being able to coach.
Terrible.
Yeah, because you know what I'm saying. Like, it is what it is.
But
when Thomas talks about the white devil, I think of
Brian
Nick
Kelly.
Saban.
I think of Kelly.
I think of Nick Saban.
I think of Brian Kelly. That is who I think of.
I think of Nick Saban and Dabo Sweeney.
Damn, I don't think that was that bad.
No, bro, because I think it's so blatant with them though. Like maybe I'm just too pessimistic a person about stuff like that. But like Dabo saying I'm gonna retire and leave the game if they start paying kids, and they started paying kids, and then he gets an extension like a couple of days later. I was like, oh yeah, he the devil. I was like, oh yeah, he the devil. Cause like, oh yeah, I know what you are.
Oh, the Big Ten. Now, you know, I think Penn State. I really do think Penn State gets over that hump this year. I think with them, they're the only team that's returning their quarterback, and they went to the Big Ten championship last year and competed. So I think Penn State gets over. I think they go like 11-2 to do it. because I think Ohio State probably messes up again against Michigan. So
Man, that would be so embarrassing.
I think it would too. But I think Ohio State take a step back. I think that Jeremiah Smith is amazing, but I think their quarterback game, I think they take a step back.
I think Julian saying will be decent.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll be decent.
I think you have Jeremiah Smith. Yeah, you're going to be good. It's just like I think that a team like with a team like that going 10-2 last year, it's like it's hard for me to be like, oh yeah, they're going to be better. Like,
it's
true. I don't think they're a better team.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Like so, like for me, I think that unless I'm not. I think they won't be as solidly in the playoff conversation. I think they will be. I think they find a way to get in because it's Ohio State.
No, I think it because I think that first game against Texas, I think it's going to be bad for Ohio State. I really do.
Yeah, I think Texas is going to be a little bit more established.
I think Texas is going to roll. I think it's going to roll them boys. I think it's going to be bad, but
so yeah. And I think that they'll kind of be recovering from that, but we'll see. Big 12, I already said Texas Tech. I think that it'll be a tight race. One, because Texas Tech hasn't been in that position before, so it'll be hard for them to know how to win it. But I do agree with them; they have that talent. I just think the talent's going to win out because I mean, the Big 12 is not really something I'm like, oh, like big coaching and big this is going to really win out. But that's what I think comes to. And Group of 5, it's hard to really go against someone like Boise State. I really don't know too much about teams that have really taken any further steps really when it comes to that. I know people are mumbling about teams like UConn, but it's hard for me to be like, UConn? Like, no, there's no way.
The basketball school.
You know what I'm saying? But, we'll see. But yeah, that's for me. That's probably our way too early predictions with that. As far as Natty, who's your favorites? I won't tell y'all to pick a team yet. Who's your favorite?
LSU.
LSU is your favorite? Mm-hmm. All right, so Austin's on record saying LSU's a favorite, but he has Texas win the SEC, but LSU's his favorite for the national championship.
Man, who's your favorite? Same thing happened with Ohio State last year.
It probably will happen again this year, honestly.
Yeah, it's about getting hot.
I think teams kind of put too much getting into ACC in those championship games. So we'll see. Mm-hmm. Nick, who's your favorite?
I'm going to say. I'm going to say Archie Manning lights it up this year.
Texas is your favorite?
Mm-hmm. Barring injury, Archie Manning lights the fucking league on fire.
All right, so that leads Texas to the national championship. Man, it's gonna be things will be bouncing around here if that happens. I'll tell you that. Because actually, it's funny. They're not really as excited about Archie Manning as I thought they would be around here. I guess.
Really? Yeah, I heard that.
Really? Because he didn't beat out Quinn Ewers. They're not as excited about it.
That's politics, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, I didn't say that at all. That's politics.
I thought he was a more talented quarterback, but I think Ewers did nothing to lose the job. So
and like
that's why I kept it. But yeah, it's muted around here. Yeah,
that's politics, bro. But
Texans aren't good at reading between the lines when it comes to politics, in my opinion. I mean, it's some of the most tone deaf people I've ever met.
And that's hilarious considering Texas.
And I'm from Florida.
That's funny. Yeah, that's funny considering Texas.
Yeah, but like they're not gonna read between the lines like that. As far as Texas are concerned, everything is black and white.
So and that's just not necessarily true. Said the quarterback gets paid a lot of money, so he probably won't be played over the quarterback who doesn't make as much money. They don't understand that.
Yeah, they don't understand that.
That's crazy and funny at the same time because it's Texas.
Yeah, but a lot of them felt like if he was good enough, he should have been over yours, and I'm just like, that's just not how that works. Like,
I would call them stupid to their faces. I ain't gonna let you. I understand.
I mean, I'm in customer service. I'm gonna call people stupid to their faces.
That's I understand. I'm like, I look at them crazy. I'll
give them that look. Like I had a bunch of Cowboys fans in there that I gave them my condolences and stuff like that. Like, I gave them that look, a sympathetic look.
Man, he ain't going nowhere. So
I don't think he's going anywhere, but I think that chemistry for that team is just absolutely busted.
This point is crazy.
I think that chemistry for that team is absolutely busted. But the fact that they haven't even talked to his agent, that's mad disrespectful.
Oh, and they refused to talk to his agent, by the way.
They refused that's disrespectful as fuck. Because he came out and was like, I will take less money. I will set the market. That man said, Michael Parsons said, I will set the market. I'll take less money to set the market for y'all. Y'all didn't even talk to his agent. That's stupid. And now everyone
Cowboys, they're going to end up overpaying. That's the Cowboys.
Because it's their own fault.
It's like, bro, you don't.
It's their own fault.
It's like, bro, I hate when teams do that with their certified superstar. Why don't you pay them early? I get you want like you don't want to do what the Rams did and what happened to the Rams. I get that part, but at the end of the day, it's still smart to pay your superstars early, man.
Because you
Still a
set the
smart thing to
market.
do.
You rather set the market than have the market set on you. That's what it is.
And that's why I
But
hear what the Dolphins do too. Like nigga, just should just pay them.
I was cool with it. I had no problem with the Dolphins and how they approached it with Waddle. It was smart, as far as I was concerned. All their showing, like it was that those only like I'm not so mad at what the Dolphins have done the last few years. I'm just like madly inconsistent. But we will talk about the NFL next time. My national championship favorite to me this year, I will have to go. It's a tough one. I'll go. No, you know what? I don't believe in them. Fuck it, Texas. I'll go with Texas.
Texas.
Talent wise, yes, I will go with Texas. I think I don't believe in LSU because I don't like Brian Kelly, but LSU's out.
Brian
is
Kelly.
Dark horse. So I'll say this: if Florida wasn't playing as bad as crazy of a schedule as it was, I'd have more faith in them. Really, I think they're talented, but I also think they're going to
I
lose.
don't think
the
they're
national championship. You think they're?
I think they have the talent to do it. I don't think they're going to be able to win more than 9 games though. I think there's no way they win more than 9 games. So I don't think they make. I think they're on the outside looking in for the playoff. But yeah, I think Florida is talent. I think Florida's a talented team, man. I really do.
I think they're talented, but I think they're really young.
Yeah,
because
I
think
it's next year.
ACC championship games end up being Texas and Florida.
No, I don't think Florida makes the playoff. I don't think Florida gets out of SC. I think there are teams in SC who have it a little bit easier than they do. Yeah. So I think Texas plays LSU.
No, because all the new talent that they brought in was through high school recruiting, and that's perfectly fine. Like I support that 110%. But to win a championship, you definitely need that older talent to win it.
So I think LSU and Texas are going to be able to get that. I think Alabama takes a step back. I think Georgia takes a step back, but I think Georgia's that third team that gets in the SEC. So I think Georgia doesn't make the championship game.
No, I don't think Georgia has a quarterback.
Yes, I don't trust Gunnar Stockton, not at all. Actually, I think Georgia would have been better off holding on to Beck. That's what I think.
No, they don't. Yeah, I don't feel. I mean, I heard they tried to keep him, but I don't think they tried that hard.
But I don't think they tried.
Beck wanted too much money, wasn't it?
Yes, from what I understand, and Miami did give it to him. And also, I think he wanted a bit of a bigger market, and he was dating one of the Cavalier twins at the time, even if he's not now.
That's
well,
who was dating one of the basketball players?
One of those basketball player twins. Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, they fine.
But when they come to Miami,
Nick. How surprising you would say that, Nick.
Yeah, but when they come to Miami, they not as fun anymore. If you know what I'm talking about. But anyways, all right, that's gonna be it for today. Shout out to Nick, RFSU grad. Thanks so much for coming on, my brother, Ajack, and big shout out to Ajack, Miss Bree back there doing my brother's dreads. We appreciate you.
Mm-hmm.
And sorry that Jay wasn't able to make it this time, but we're gonna put it out there for him. Probably have him on maybe in a month or so next time. I'm your boy Musiq Nerd, aka Philip Jackson Jr. We will see y'all next time. Thank y'all so much. All right, and that is...